their winning wing was a peanut butter bacon jam wing.
I had it. It was delicious.
That was insane.
I didn't know wings can do that.
Yes. And then
Make our own bacon jam, mix it in with some peanut butter and some other little stuff, and peanut butter bacon jam, and
Peanut butter bacon jam.
yeah.
It's like my favourite things all in a jar.
And that's one of the ideas that we have for our city is to step up not just the wing game, but the food game here in Colorado Springs.
We used to have a wing ding in Miami. It's called the wing ding. And then I went to the Google that knows everything, right? And I was like, when is the Colorado Wing Fest? Enter.
Crickets.
Put in crickets.
Nothing.
And then
The best of the West Wing Fest.
That's right. Maritza and Philip Aguilera created the event, which will be the very first wing festival in the state of Colorado, and it's happening right here in Colorado Springs.
if you're growing something that has momentum, you should have sleepless nights. There is something about embracing the challenge that it takes, because growing comes with pain.
Yeah.
It's growing pains is the thing.
You gotta recognize the pain, though. Right?
Yes.
That's
And
I think that's the hard part, right?
A rising tide lifts all boats.
Lifts all boats, lifts all ships. So if we do well, we want our community to do well along with us. So that is the goal.
And we were
Yeah.
telling you the story, and we can maybe highlight this story here, but we gave up a sponsorship. So for everybody, it's like, oh, it's all about the money. Well, we gave up having some money,
A big sponsorship.
a big
A
sponsorship,
big beverage sponsorship.
to keep the water free, because
Yeah.
they wanted to charge a lot of money for
The
water.
markup on, not even on the sodas.
Yeah, not
but
on the soda,
On the water.
the water specifically. First, let's always start with patience. Patience and then grace for both the people you're trying to herd like cats and for yourself. So
And for your partner.
it gets intense, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the sleepless nights where you're like, I'm trying to get this thing done, and the people that I need to help me get this done are not calling, they're not
Yes.
doing their part, and then you're just up half the night with your head.
How is that dynamic, especially for couples who might be working together, putting on some big events, or even just building a business?
I think it's everything you think it is. There's times of joy, there's times of frustration,
Yeah.
there's times of like, I just get out of my face, I don't want to look at you right now.
There's
But
all
then
of
there's
that.
times of we put it together. Like
Yeah.
it's life. It's
And
all the
I-
things that life brings.
There's times that I'm ready to throw in the towel, and this would not happen without him. Like I do things.
I feel the same.
Exactly.
I feel the
Like,
same.
Nice.
And I get anxious, and I get frustrated, and I get loud, and I need to bring it back down to reality.
That's when I just use jujitsu.
Oh,
Not to do it.
physically.
Not physically.
The de-escalation
That's when the philosophy better
Exactly.
said comes in.
Exactly. Best of the West Wingfest.com.
Welcome to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, where we discuss business principles and provide real-life insight into the lives of everyday business owners and entrepreneurs. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe or leave a review wherever you might be listening. Our sponsor, Planet Duct, is an awesome air duct cleaning company here in Colorado Springs and across southern Colorado. Planet Duct is a premier air duct cleaning company to help you with all your air duct cleaning needs. They are top-of-the-line professional with some of the best air duct cleaning trucks that you can find. Brandon Kirk, who has also been on the show and been a longtime sponsor of this show, really knows what he's doing, and he manages a tight ship. He makes sure to get the job done and get it done correct. So check out planetduct.com if you have any air duct cleaning needs. Our next sponsor is Recon Marketing. They will help you with all your marketing needs, whether that's SEO, content creation, social media management, web design, and everything in between. And speaking of which, Recon Marketing is on this show right now. The co-host of the show is the founder and co-owner of Recon Marketing, Marcus, right here, right next to me in this episode. And he happens to be the co-owner of this show too. Now let's talk business. Welcome back. Look at the camera though. Last time you looked at the wide angle, I want you to look at the tight angle. All right, directing. Okay. All right, welcome back.
All right, guys. Today we have a very special episode. For one, it's our episode 200, so very, very special milestone we have. And we have very special guests for our 200th episode. We have Flip and Maritza Aguilera.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And you guys were Sophisticated Events, and you are doing a very special event, your second annual Best of the West Wing Fest.
Yes.
First and foremost, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. We love you guys. We're personal friends with you all, very big supporters. tell us what's going on this year for Best of the West Wing Fest Part 2.
I'm taking a nap. Maritza's doing all the work.
We're joking, we laugh, but it feels that way anyways. Year 2, everything is a little bit more heightened. The stakes are higher because we have to kind of outdo ourselves from last year. So it feels a little bit stressful. Like the heat is definitely on.
Yeah.
That's what the Wing Fest is all about, bringing the heat.
Yes.
Love it.
That is true. That is true.
Well, let's talk about the inaugural year last year, right? So we had a different venue last year. How did that go last year and leading into this year?
Yeah. So last year we were at FH Beer Works off of Powers and Constitution. Great location. It was awesome to work
Shout
with
out to FH for giving us the opportunity.
Yes, shout out to FH.
Yes.
They were really great to work with. But this year we had the opportunity to change it up a little bit. And we have a little bit of a different scenario. We listened to some of the constructive feedback that we got from our vendors, our restaurants, our attendees last year. We sent out a survey at the end of the event. And people told us that they wanted grass and they wanted trees and things like that. And that's kind of the vision that we had as well for the event. We wanted it to be kind of like a family reunion kind of feel and, bring your picnic blanket and put it on the floor and be able to eat. And in our other location, we were not able to do that. So this year we are at the Western Museum of Mining and Industry.
Off of Northgate and 25. So right off the expressway. So it'll be easy to get to.
Yes. And people will be able to see that there's something going on over there right from the highway. It's accessible from the north, from the south, from everywhere in between. So it's a really, really beautiful location. There are literally pieces of Colorado history scattered throughout the property. It's large. They've got great parking situation. So we should be great with that as well. We can fit more people. It's just all around super good
upgrade.
For sure.
Well, let's talk about this. So what is the Best of the West Wing Fest? Tell, for our audience who doesn't know, because last year was such a great hit, tell anybody else what it's all about.
So the Best of the West Wing Fest is a competition where the community comes together to vote on who they think makes the best chicken wings in the West.
Not a panel of judges with quote unquote superior palates that will disseminate upon us what they think is the best. We get to choose.
Yeah, we're the ones that go to these places all year round, right? So we should be the ones that come together to decide who is the best of the West. Right?
So everyone decides.
Everyone decides.
Not just you guys.
Not just us. No,
Actually, we probably don't decide because I know Marcus knows about running events and you know from watching Marcus and doing all the background stuff. But the least thing that we get to do is eat wings.
It's true. The day of, I think last year I ate one wing.
Oh my God.
And that was because one of the restaurants pulled me aside and was like, here, eat this. And I'm like, okay, fine, I guess so. But I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. It's totally crazy. But all of the restaurants have a QR code, a poster with a QR code right outside their little area. And you as an attendee get your phone, scan that QR code, and you get to vote on the different categories, all the restaurants that are in that category with the name of their wing. So,
and this year we added best classic wings. Last year we just had best festival favorites, so whoever the people voted for, and we had best sauce and dry rub together. So best sauce and dry rub is still together. We added best wild wing and now best classic wing.
Nice.
You gotta
and
go
then of
back
course
to the
there's
classic,
festival favorite.
which can be any one of them.
Yes.
Do you want to list off the people who are competing right now? So if anyone's listening that they
You might have to give us one of those flyers.
Got you right here.
So I can say that we are welcoming back again quite a few of our restaurants from last year. Of course, the festival favorite winner last year, which is Flighty Fowl. Okay. They were a food truck last year that was in business for only a month. And they won festival favorite last year.
Which is because somebody actually asked me this week. They're like, well, do you think some of this is just the popularity of some of the restaurants? And I'm like, perhaps, but that couldn't have been it last year.
Yeah.
Because
The
the
data
people
says.
who won were only open for a month.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really give you a lot of time
Yeah.
to have a big following.
Exactly.
But they took
That's
it down.
awesome.
And it was their winning wing was a peanut butter bacon jam wing.
I had it. It was delicious.
That was insane.
I didn't know wings can do that.
Yes. And then, of course, people talking smack, all of the restaurants, and they're like, they cheated. They used bacon. It's like, yeah,
Nobody said you
there's
couldn't
no
use
rules when it
bacon.
comes to that. You
Yeah.
can use whatever you want to win over the people.
Yeah.
And then, and you see that type of wing, that peanut butter bacon jam, that would classify as a wild wing this
Yes.
year.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
not only would they be able to put their name in the hat for a festival favorite, but they would also be competing with that particular wing in the wild wing category. And then we have our best sauce / dry rub that won last year, which is Golden Flames Hot Wings.
Yeah.
They are coming back. They won that category last year with their mango tango or tango mango sauce. It was really good too, like a sweet heat kind of thing. They're coming back and they are doing some really exciting things. They're out over in Stetson Hills. However, they're opening a second location here in the Springs.
That's awesome.
2 minutes from where we live.
I
Yes.
know, right on Garden of the Gods in September. I don't know if they're planning on doing that before Wingfest or after Wingfest, but everyone needs to keep their eyes open for that second location on the west side.
West side.
West side. We also have Fat Shack
Yeah.
coming again from last year. They're coming again this year. Who else? Oh, Oscar Blues. Oscar Blues is coming also from last year to this year again.
Nice.
Not only are they coming this year with their wings, they're also going to be our beer provider. So people
nice.
will be able to purchase their favorite Oscar Blues wings from them this year.
And favorite Oscar Blues beer as well.
Yes.
Yes.
And they've got some good ones.
They do. Who else, darling?
We've got
we have?
Buzzed Crow Bistro, and they're a
Yes.
brand new one coming in.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got
Yeah.
CD's Wings coming from Denver.
Yes.
So finally, we have
Yes.
Denver coming
Penetrated
down to
the market.
us.
There we
Yes.
go.
Yeah,
Instead
Denver's
of us.
coming down to us. We're not going up to them,
Yes.
which is really great.
And
Switching
then
it up.
We've
Yeah.
got a caterer for the
Yes.
first time, and
Yeah.
it's called From the Roots.
Yes, Chef Shea. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she contacted us. So that's something that we noticed this year. A lot of the restaurants, the newer restaurants that are coming and competing, they found us instead of us finding them, which is
Nice.
pretty awesome for just second year. We're super excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
How did they find you guys?
Online.
Well, probably
Nice.
me posting
Or-
on Facebook.
Okay.
groups.
Yeah.
Posting on a lot of Facebook groups.
Facebook groups are a big thing. Here in Colorado Springs and Colorado, everyone takes their Facebook groups super seriously.
Yes.
And we've gotten a lot of vendors signing up to be vendors, non-food vendors or other
Yes.
types of food vendors because they saw him posting on one of those groups and promoting and asking for vendors. So there you go.
Well, you're the marketing guy. What are your thoughts on posting on all those Facebook groups?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's all about the comprehensive effort. You might hit them one way with an ad, and then they see you on a Facebook post on a private page or a group or whatever it might be. It all adds up, right? Because we
Yeah.
know as marketers that there's a lot of exposure someone has to be hit with this day and age with ads, right?
Yep.
You gotta be exposed to a brand a lot in order to convert or make a sale or buy a ticket or whatever it might be. So all those comprehensive efforts all come into play for making somebody come to your festival. It's very
Absolutely.
important. Let's talk a little bit about, I love wings. Danielle's behind the camera. She knows I love wings. She loves wings. We make it at my home all the time. But this event's even more than just that, right? Because it's like a
Yes.
family fun
Yes.
event. That's what we
Yes.
experienced last year, which was super cool. It's not just like grown-ups hanging out. It's
No.
kids.
This is a full festival, right?
Yeah. We had, so one of the things that we noticed with festivals in Colorado, not only in Colorado Springs, but also in Denver, we've gone to a couple of them in Denver as well, food related, they're all geared to adults. So, our kids are old and grown, right? So we don't really think about taking them with us because they're doing their own thing. They have their own lives. But, what happens to other people that have little ones? They want to go to a festival and they have to leave them with a grandma or find a sitter or whatever. Well, we want grandma here. We want the kids here. We have a family fun zone. So last year we had face painting. We had a bounce house. The Children's Chorale is one of our nonprofits that we work with. We're showcasing children on the stage singing. That's kind of what this feel is all about. We want people to come, again, like kind of family reunion style, bring their picnic blanket, bring their camping chairs.
Bring your water bottle for that free water.
Yes, bring your water bottles, your refillable water bottles, and we have free water that we have at the event. And just have a good time together. There's no reason why we should separate all the kids and the adults. We can all hang out together. And last year we had one of our vendors, vertical window cleaning. They're our neighbors. Oh, cool. And they had a baby, like a little baby girl, and they brought their baby girl with them. And towards the end, like the wife of the duo team, the husband and wife team, she had her baby and was hanging out and, you know, playing and dancing with the live music that we had on the stage. There was a lady, one of our friends, that one of our photographers caught the most amazing moment that really encapsulates what we're trying to do. It is a mom with a beer in her hand, a little basket of wings on the other, and her baby in a baby carrier.
Strapped.
And the baby was eating a wing.
Well, she's
and had his face full of sauce.
Oh my gosh.
And they're both eating and drinking and doing all the things together. Like, that was a beautiful moment, and I'm so glad that we captured that.
It needs to be put on a poster for sure.
Oh, for sure. It has totally become a poster.
Oh my god.
It was our Mother's Day post.
This year, actually, we're partnering also with Macaroni Kid, which is a very large kind of national brand that brings family-friendly activities together, vendors and things like that. So they're going to be presenting Wingfest to their community of people and letting families know that it's okay to come and bring the kids. Yeah.
Let's talk about mission and purpose. As I know, as an event organizer, there's a lot of pain that you go through to put on an event. And your first event usually is just a big learning lesson in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
You learn about, you know, everything, right? Logistics, parking, vendors, grass, trees, shade, all these different things.
Thanks for helping us out with some
that's right.
avoiding some potholes.
You helped us you filled the potholes for sure.
Oh my gosh. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the mission and purpose of why you guys do what you do. It's beyond, I mean, you guys have done other things for the community as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's unpack that.
So purpose, mission, we moved here from Miami this past July 2023. It was our 3-year anniversary that we moved here. And, you know, we were both born and raised in Miami, and there's a lot of history for the both of us there. We have our families there, all our friends from middle school, high school, college, they're all there. And so coming here, we didn't really know anyone. So how can we integrate ourselves into the community? And how can we give back and be a part of the community instead of a part of the community?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we started with Nerd Night and Memoirs, True Stories Unfiltered. Those were 2 monthly events that we were doing. Currently, it breaks our heart, but they're on hold for right now. But those were free events that we were doing for the community. So getting people to interact with each other, especially during the time of post-COVID world, that people weren't really sure how to interact with each other anymore. It's kind of like, you know, again, bringing the community together. And then Flip came up with this wing idea.
I didn't come up with this idea.
Yeah, no.
I did, but it happened because of a Facebook group.
Exactly.
So we just moved here. People are active on the Facebook groups, and somebody asked from a different place that had just moved here, who has the best wings? I love wings like you love wings. So I was like, oh, I want to know the answer to this. With no intention of starting the Best of the West Wing Fest. I just was like, oh, here's a list that people are recommending. Look at all these wonderful places I can go try some wings at. Then some guy, I think from Atlanta, came onto the group, was like, oh, you know, we used to have a wing fest in Atlanta. Then some other guy from some other place, oh, we used to have a wing fest where I'm from. And I'm like, we used to have a wing ding in Miami.
A wing ding.
Wing ding.
And then I went to the Google that knows everything, right? And I was like, when is the Colorado Wing Fest? Enter.
Crickets.
Put in crickets.
Nothing.
And then I called my friend who's been living throughout the state of Colorado, has been to a whole bunch of festivals. I'm like, is there a chicken wing festival in Colorado? He's like, there's that chicken fight that happens at Elish Gardens, but that's all types of chicken.
Yeah.
That's not just wings. And I was
It's not chicken fighting, actually.
No,
you know what?
I don't know. We haven't been there yet.
If there's some Cubans
we
there
might go
in a back tent with that's all four corners closed, who knows what you'll find back there.
I don't know.
But so I tell my friend, I'm like, so what do you think if I started one? And I tell people now, I wish he would have told me no. But he's like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
And the more people I spoke with, everybody was like,
no one told him that it was a horrible idea. And I
No.
want to kill everyone right now. So, we started this journey that has brought us now to second annual Wingfest. And really, it's to shine a light on those businesses, get people to continue to go out and venture out and bring patronage and explore their own state or their own places where they live. Like here, there's so many people that have told me now that we're having it at the mining festival, they're like, we've never been there to the mining museum. And I was like, how have you never been to the mining museum? You've been here for how many years have you lived here? Oh, 20 years. I've never been there. Okay, well, not only are we getting people to experience new wings and new restaurants, we're getting them to experience vendors that they, small business, local vendors. We're getting them to experience a new venue, bringing awareness to those places. So hopefully our hope is that when family members, friends come and visit these people, they're like, oh, I know where to take you. This is a really cool place. It's something different, off the beaten path. Okay, let's go. So that's kind of our whole guiding, I guess, light to that.
So kind of to like put it together, we want to shine a light on our local businesses. We want to bring our community together in a fun and engaging way. And again, the whole community, the family, not just college kids that want to just drink beer. And that's not what we don't want people to really get drunk. So one of the reasons we're giving out free water. And we were telling you the story, and we can maybe highlight this story here, but we gave up a sponsorship. So for everybody, it's like, oh, it's all about the money. Well, we gave up having some money.
A big sponsorship, right?
A big sponsorship.
A big beverage sponsorship.
To keep the water free. Because they wanted to charge a lot of money for
the
water.
markup on, not even on the soda.
Yeah, not on the soda.
On the
water? The water specifically.
Do you think that's so people buy more of their products?
I don't know. But
do you think that like competes with what they're trying to do? Like,
well, again, we were like,
why.
You can sell your soda all you want.
Yeah.
But part of our mission last year was to reduce plastic bottles.
Yes.
So for free, with free water, and it's like filtered good water. It's not like just the hose, and it's a company that's what they do, is want to give out
and they do
free
some
water.
type of special filtration. I mean, like it's top of the line technology for water filtration. It's like really good water that you get. So we're super excited to continue that partnership with them again this year. And actually that company started a new company, and not only are they going to be providing free drinking water for everyone, but they're also going to provide mocktails. So you will have to purchase the mocktails, but you have that option where if you don't want beer, if you don't want a cocktail, you can get a mocktail. It doesn't have to always be alcohol.
All the kids can have
focused.
mocktails.
All the kids can have mocktails. And they're like healthy, like juice blends and herbs and things like that. They're super fancy, pinkies up. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I did my very first event at the Mining Museum, so I know a whole lot about this place.
Yes.
And one thing for sure is water is a big piece to it. We had a gal, even every year at the festival, we have some kind of like exhaustion. We've had heat stroke happen before ambulance come.
So hard.
It's insane, but it's hot out there. It's going to be during September time. It's going to be very hot still. So I think that's so important that you guys did that. That's going to be so great. And the community up there they love
events. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. So another suggestion that we had from last year. So last year we had it in the beginning of August. The Pikes Peak chapter of the Colorado, the Pikes Peak chapter of the Colorado Restaurant Association. We went up to them last year, and they were like, "You guys are doing it in the beginning of August. Like, this is prime time, summertime, and all of the restaurants are going to be strapped for staff, and they're going to be super busy because of all of the tourism that comes over here.
Yeah.
Maybe you should push it out a little bit more. And we're like, well, at that point, we were already committed to that date, that we couldn't do anything else. So we listened to that. And this year, now we have it Saturday, September 16th. So it's the last weekend before the fall actually officially starts. We're fingers crossed that the weather's going to be a lot nicer. Hopefully it'll be a few degrees cooler than it was last year. It was pretty hot last year. And again, at our new venue, we have shade. We have things that, will provide a little bit more comfort, I think.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
I've always loved September. I've told Danielle all the time, like I always wanted to do my event in September because, well, for one, Colorado in the summertime, July, August, can be either really hot or it's going to rain, torrential rain downfall,
Like
right?
it has been every single
Downpour
day here.
every
We
day.
got lots
For
of
like 2
flowers
weeks.
though.
Yeah,
It's flowers everywhere.
It's been a beautiful summer, by the
Yeah.
way. But I'm just saying, you just never know what the elements during
Don't.
the main summer months. So I think September is like a great transition because it doesn't have any of the crazy hail or rain. It doesn't have
Yes.
snow just yet. It's
Yeah.
a little bit cooler, like you guys said.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really solid
I don't know.
move.
The year we moved here, it snowed in September.
Oh,
It snowed like around the September 11th time frame.
Which is
on
the
our
time.
First, we got here July 2020, and that year, that in September, we had our first snow, and I was like, what did we get ourselves into? Why did we do this?
And as I'm looking at my watch, if I'm correct, tomorrow would be a year that we did the Wingfest, August 6th last
Yes,
year.
yeah,
So
yeah,
tomorrow will be a year that we did the first annual.
Yes.
So we're moving it a little out. So hopefully that helps people out. And school might be back in. So I
People
think
are
it
not
was a
getting
little
ready.
harder last
Yeah.
year with the colleges because they're not here.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe with the school back in, I need to go and put these on all their bulletin boards because
Oh,
if
the
anybody likes
campuses.
wings, it's college people.
Yes.
This would definitely be a great event for college kids. Yeah.
We should. I don't have the connections yet, but I would love to do a, excuse me, a UCCS versus Colorado College eating competition again.
that'd be
college
Maybe
kids.
like the staff versus the staff, or the staff versus the kids, or something like that.
Yeah, but
I think that would
something
be fun and cool to do.
So if you're out there and you're watching this,
Yeah.
contact us so we can make it happen for next year.
Yeah. Well, as a
Yeah.
UCCS alum, would kick Cece's butt. Just so you guys know.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
I don't know. The trash talking's already begun.
That's part of the fun of it all.
Kicking it off.
What are some key learning lessons you guys have done? I mean, this isn't your first event you've done. You guys have done events all around the community. I know you guys have done, sophisticated events. So let's talk about that. What are some learning lessons, from doing this larger scale outdoor event that you can take into this year's event?
Well, first, let's always start with patience. Patience and then grace for both the people you're trying to herd like cats and for yourself as the cat herding gets very frustrating. So
And for your partner.
yeah, and for it gets intense, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the sleepless nights where you're like, I'm trying to get this thing done, and the people that I need to help me get this done are not calling, they're not
Yes.
doing their part, and then you're just up half the night with your head just
It sounds like unreal, right? But I've never in my life had problems sleeping. Like, never. I put my head on my pillow and I'm off to La La Land almost immediately.
I'm jealous.
But I will tell you that with this Wingfest, this year already, I have lost, I don't know how many nights of sleep. I'll put my head on the pillow and I am physically exhausted and I really want to get some sleep. And then I open my eyes and it's midnight. I open my eyes
I
and
need to
it's
get this
1.
done.
I open my eyes, it's 1:30. I'm like, why am
But the
I
thing
not
is,
asleep?
I have a different approach. When that starts to happen, I just get up and do whatever it is
Yeah.
that's on my mind.
And that's
At least get
yeah.
it out. It's like, oh, I can't control that this person hasn't called, but I should follow up and just get it out. Because if not,
I get frustrated and I'm just like, I need sleep. Because on top of Wingfest and our other events that we've done and stuff, I have a quote unquote day job.
Me
so
too.
I work from 7 to 3 every day. And I need to use my brain function and my energy to be able to focus and do things.
Yeah.
So if I don't get that sleep, then I am garbage the next day. And it'll take me a while and a few cycles to catch back up and actually feel good. So, I've been taking supplements, trying to eat right, trying to work out, doing all the things to get energies out so that we can be able to have the energy that we need to do the things that we have to do.
Yeah, it sucks when you're trying to sleep and you're just laying there and like it's 1 a.m. and you're like, well, I could have just did what Flip did, but then it's already too late. It's like you just wasted 2 hours. But did you waste 2 hours? Because maybe your body was resting still a little bit. But
Yeah.
So I just rather get that energy out.
Yeah.
Just-
I try. I probably do what you do if I can't go to sleep. But
So that happened this week, and I have a note
nice.
I'm waking up and
of all the Wing Fest things to do.
that's what's keeping you up, though. It's like you got so much stuff going on,
Yeah.
and it's like
Now,
It's
what are your
never
thoughts
ending.
on that? Like when you hear, because I know we've spoken before about somebody like Grant Cardone, where he thinks that is exactly what should be happening. If you're growing something that has momentum, you should have sleepless nights. And I love that he said at one time, if you're growing something and the problems you have next year are not bigger, then you're not growing. Right? So there is something about embracing the challenge that it takes, because growing comes with pain.
Yeah.
Right? It's growing pains is the thing.
gotta recognize the pain, though, right?
Yes.
That's
And
I
it-
think
but
that's the
it-
hard part, right?
But the
Is
thing is
recognizing.
that if it's a pain that is helping you build, it's like working out. You get sore, but that's a pain that builds you. So instead of the pain where like lower back pain, that's not the type of pain that builds you. So which pain are you trying to get towards? The one that builds you or the one that tears you down? And when you just get frustrated and you just that's not
I know.
I don't find that to be a good practice.
Another thing that we've learned, though, is to accept help from those people that offer it. A lot of times
Marcus came through
Yeah,
last year.
Marcus came through for sure.
A-frames,
And just like a lot of people
tables.
came through. If you voice your needs, chances are, if you've got some good people around you, that they will stand up to the challenge and they'll lend out a hand. So that's something that it's hard for me to let go of things sometimes. And I feel like I have my systems are not completely polished. And so with my systems not being completely polished, I feel bad, like punning them off to someone else or having someone else help me, because I feel like maybe things are not clear or that they won't get done the way that I would get them done or something. And it's like, I just have to let it go
and develop the system as it comes.
But that's something we knew that we wanted to grow this thing. So from last year, I have a whole Excel document that has different tabs that have who our vendors are, who our sponsors are, who our restaurants are. You have areas for notes on them, how, when did we contact them? What did they say? What was like, so
That's awesome.
I try to have those systems. Can they be better? 100%.
Yeah, but systems should always be updating. And
But like one of the things that I did this year is someone told me, I was giving them the information, how frustrated I was with collecting vendor fees. Like I was trying to hound people down and whatever. And he was like, well, why don't you just open up a Square account?
shout
and
out to
send
John
them-
Eddy.
Yeah, shout out to John Eddy.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you just open up a Square account and you can invoice
free.
them and it sends them in invoices and reminders on when the invoices are due and all that. And I was like, okay. She's like, it'll take you 10 minutes to set it up. And once you set it up, you don't have to. In less than 24 hours, I got like $500 worth of vendor fees paid. Boom, done.
nice.
That was amazing.
A little easier.
A little easier. So a little
there
bit
is-
every
forever
year.
now.
There does feel like this year's Wingfest has a little bit of momentum, right? Last year
Yes.
was the lift.
Right.
Let's get it
yes.
off the ground. But this
Totally.
year, because of the systems we have begun to develop, and again,
Yeah.
they can always use refining, updating,
Yeah.
but it feels like the ball is not as, again, we don't have to pick it up. It's just, all right, let's.
You're still pushing it
proven.
up a
It's
hill,
a
though.
proven
right?
ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a proven concept.
So
Absolutely.
It's happening. And I hope we can keep growing this thing, because we're not there yet, but I really do want to send the winner of Festival Favorite to Buffalo representing the West
for the national, chicken wing competition in Buffalo, New York. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
So that is the goal, is to make this a regional competition where we can sponsor as a company.
One of our new restaurants attending this year is Mama Pearl's.
Yeah.
They're over on the north side. Chef BB, shout out. He's amazing.
He's a fun guy.
We were working together at Taste of Pikes Peak a little while ago to promote Mama Pearl's and to promote Wingfest. And he said that he ended up being at the national Buffalo chicken wing competition one day, like just as an attendee by accident. He had family members in that area. He went to go visit them and he was like, oh my God, the Buffalo competition is this weekend that we're here?
Yeah.
Okay. So he went and he attended it and he was like, that was a lot. There was so much. And why can't we have that type of energy here in Colorado Springs? In Buffalo, for that competition, for that national chicken wing competition, it's been going on for 20 plus years. It's a weekend-long festival.
It's a Labor Day weekend.
On Labor Day
it's 3
weekend,
days.
where 50 to 60,000 people descend upon that area for that event.
To Orchard
every
Park,
year.
where the Buffalo Bills play.
Yeah.
I've been
How
there.
crazy is that? Why can't we have that here in the West?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
What's the way you always say Pikes Peak? It's the gateway.
Yeah,
to-
well, I
Yeah.
say that it's the
Yeah.
threshold to the West,
Yeah.
right? Like Denver is cool, but in Denver you have to like look for the mountains like there on a clear day.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs,
Boom.
right
Right
there.
there. Open up
I
your
have to
door.
look up a little bit
and
too.
what's past those mountains? The West.
Yeah.
It's like
More
this
mountains,
is
more
the
posts.
threshold
Yes.
to the West,
To the
and
West.
it's in the
It is, yeah.
center of Colorado. It's right in the middle. So if we can get our neighboring, states to come along on this trip with us, I think we can have a fun time and really,
Yes.
come together as the West.
I mean, I believe it was 2021 that there was a restaurant at this national chicken wing championship in Buffalo, New York, that took home 3 titles. And that restaurant is in Arizona.
What?
It's right here. So these people traveled all the way to Buffalo to compete in this thing. Why can't they come over to us? So, notice that the name of the event is not Best of Colorado Springs. It's not Best of Colorado. It's Best of the West. So last year it was hyper local. It was all Colorado Springs restaurants. This year we're bringing in a couple of restaurants from Denver. We have a couple of restaurants from Pueblo. So we're expanding.
It's
next
happening.
year, our goal would be next year is to have a couple of restaurants from some of our neighboring states, maybe New Mexico, maybe Utah, who knows where, but we that's the goal.
So
That
if
would
there's
be the
any
goal for next
sponsors
year.
out there that want to help us realize this vision,
Yes,
let's
yes.
sit down and conversate.
I love it. I was just, there's so much great like gold nuggets you guys are giving us right now, but like one of the coolest things you guys are talking about is like the anxiety before an event.
Yeah.
And from my personal experience, I always tell folks really close to me, I'm like, the anxiety is crazy until like the morning of, and you think that'd be when it's the highest, but I feel like a sense of peace because I'm like,
Yeah, by
This
that
is
time
it.
it's like
Money's already been spent.
This is
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
people are already getting tickets.
Yeah.
It's gonna be what it is. Exactly, right?
exactly. At that point, there's really not much else that you can do.
And your team's gonna come
Yeah.
and support you.
Yeah.
Like that means
Yeah.
so much when you're doing these things because you're like, this was my vision.
Yeah.
This was an idea. And look at
Yeah.
all these people who come together to support me in my idea. The people who have my back.
Yes.
And then everybody was
Special
happy to
feeling.
be there. You were there last year. It was
Yeah.
a good vibe.
Oh yeah. I'd
Good
support you
vibe.
guys
It
all the way
was-
through for sure.
It was really emotional for me last year. So we opened up last year with the Children's Chorale, the Colorado Springs Children's Chorale, and they sang the national anthem. They did the America the Beautiful, and then they did a song for us. They dedicated a song to Flip and I, and they called us up on stage, and I was not planning to be on that stage the entire day. But they pulled me up, and they had me stand there, and they sang to us, and I started crying, and it was like, oh, this is so cute. And like, we made that happen. We made that feel happen, and that is like, that's the type of energy that we want to continue to bring out within the community, is that sense of togetherness, that sense of accomplishment, and fun.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was cool.
It
And
was
again, that's another part of our mission is giving back
Yes.
to people like the Colorado Springs Children's Chorale, which need a lot of help because COVID really punched them in the face.
It really
And
did, yeah.
last year we had the World Affairs Council as another nonprofit, but as we were mentioning before, I think every year we probably will keep the Children's Chorale, but then
Yes.
every year maybe feature a different other nonprofit that can obviously use some help.
Yeah, we're still talking with a couple of nonprofits at the moment to iron it out for this year who that second spot will be. But just like last year, 10% of ticket sales goes to these two nonprofits. So, what is that saying that people have? Rising
A rising tide lifts all
lifts
boats.
all boats, lifts all ships. So, if we do well, we want our community to do well along with us. So that is the goal.
And there's something, because it says here on this flyer, it says wings, beer, which we already told you is going to be Oscar Blues. And we're also going to have 1350 Distillery, which
Yeah.
last year we didn't really have that.
Yes.
But it also says live entertainment.
What's that mean?
What's that mean? Huh? So we have the Children's Chorale that will be opening us up again. And we've got 3 bands. One of them is called Exit West. It's a country band.
Yes, fun.
Heard of them,
yeah.
We've got the Urban Classic with Terry
Nice.
Josiah
Yeah.
and the homies over there.
Yeah,
And,
they're
they
awesome.
bring the energy.
They have
yeah.
such good energy. We've seen them a couple times live, and it's just you can't not smile when they're on stage.
Yeah.
So
It's
I like
kinda-
JJ's music too.
Yeah.
yes,
it's
yeah,
fun.
they're all so talented. A lot of talented musicians, and Terry Josiah and his team at
Cut to a
Music.
clip.
Anthem
AME.
Music Enterprises. They're doing great things within our community as well,
yeah.
and they have a lot of great talent. So we're super excited to have the Urban Classic.
And we will have Letitia Hardy back.
Oh,
with
nice.
The girls
Yeah.
shaking
Yeah.
it.
Oh, nice.
Shaking it on stage for us, doing another new little number.
And then we've got our eating competitions, right?
Those were a hit last year. Everyone stopped what they were doing and went straight to the stage, and it was a spectacle.
So we're gonna come back to that, but let's talk about our headline band here,
okay,
which we
All right,
haven't
we'll come
announced
back to
anywhere
that.
yet.
Oh.
I'm not sure either.
You heard it
So
here
our
first.
headline band is not a band that anybody has ever heard before. Which is
Yes.
weird, right? Why would you want a headline band that nobody's ever heard of?
Hmm.
But basically what's happening is I think we have 6 or 7 members
Yes.
from regional jam bands. So we have somebody from the Flowbots, we have somebody from the Magic Beans.
Mm-hmm.
I know Aiden Pagnani, I know his name because he's the one putting it together.
Yes.
But there's all these people from bands that we might know from bands that are together.
Some of these bands
Yeah.
have even played at Red Rocks.
Yes.
And they're coming together and playing
So
at Wingfest.
we're gonna have one member from 6 or 7 of these different jam bands to come
Yes.
together and make, let's call it a super Wingfest saucy jam band.
Yes.
So
That's cool.
we don't know what their name's gonna be. We don't know, but if you like jam bands,
Yeah.
the headline band.
What's
is
a
gonna
jam
be
band?
So a jam band would be like Fish, Dead and Company, Widespread Panic, that
Yes.
type of
That's kind of like a jam band.
that type
Okay.
of
That
energy of
kind of
music,
groove.
right? So, and you know, Colorado, they love their jam bands.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? So we'll have that country sound, we'll have that urban sound, we'll have the jam band sound. Little
Yes.
diversity.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can go back to the
Oh.
eating competitions.
Yes.
See, so last year the eating competition was won by a 13-year-old on who can eat the most wings. 13-year-old.
That kid ate everyone under the table.
Yeah.
Well, he's growing. That's not fair.
He's also a wrestler.
Yeah, it's like
And
that's not
his
fair.
parents are the owners of the Flighty Fowl that won the festival favorite.
So yeah, the
Just a bunch of
family
winners
swept
there.
it up. But
Winners
then,
all around.
Yeah.
There's also the hottest wing eating competition.
Who can eat the hottest wing?
And that was
Oh,
won
that's
by
fun.
some
It was a
somebody in the
military guy. I think it was an army guy.
So here,
that-
I'm gonna pass this to you because this is this year's medal for whoever wins the spiciest wing eating competition. We don't have the belt; it hasn't come in yet for the who can eat the most. But this is an unveiling. So who wants to open this and check it out?
Andrew, you do the honors, my friend.
All right.
Do it. I love it.
it's going to be great.
So last year it was amazing, by the way. So
How was it to be a part of the
The crowd.
crowd to
watching
be in
it.
there?
it was a spectacle. It was so much fun. One of our friends was competing in the wing
Yes.
eating contest. He
Yes.
lost, but it was this.
Let's see
Oh,
here.
Well, you gotta go.
I've been a bachelor forever.
Okay.
I plan on keeping it that way. It's great.
Yeah.
You know, nobody tells me what to do. I just get to do whatever I want. You know, I can do a 20-hour day. Nobody's gonna at me for that. You know, nobody.
I feel you on that.
Yeah, nobody's gonna like the way I've been this past month. Nobody's gonna put up with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're gonna start getting with the Amazon Prime man. You know? Yeah, I don't got time for them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You
That's
gotta
just
watch
how
out
it's
for that
gonna be.
Amazon
Yeah, all of a
Prime
sudden I'm
guy.
gonna have a kid, and it's gonna be Amazon Prime guy's kid. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to have someone else to impregnate your girlfriend.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so that's why I just keep.
So much fun. Oh, look at that.
Nice.
There's lots of bling on that chain.
Don't you throw it on, dude.
I can't wear it. I'm not.
You didn't earn it.
You didn't earn it
You
yet.
didn't earn it, but you can show it off like Vanna White.
Yes.
If anybody knows who Vanna White is, Eddie.
Vanna White has been guardian of the puzzle board on Wheel of Fortune for more than 30 years.
Vanna White is a television icon. She's sexy but not too sexy, chatty but not too chatty, and she's really good at turning a letter.
Oh, yes. Come on now.
So there's your second annual spiciest wing eating champion.
It's
turnover chain.
Yes.
You guys have the best.
That's awesome.
I
I
love
love
the
it.
trophies you guys put together.
And this year, we're continuing to work with Glassical Designs,
We
which
do too.
is
Yeah.
they are a local business, super great. We had such a great partnership with them last year. Last year, they invited us to their facility, and we got to film how they created the festival favorite, the big trophy. And they're going to invite us back again this year because so our festival favorite trophy is going to be kind of like a Stanley Cup thing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a traveling trophy. And we're going to take it away from last year's winner and give it to the new winner this year. And so we need to give last year's winner a smaller little trophy to memorialize that.
Sure.
Maybe they'll win it again.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're cooking up in that food truck of theirs, but and then we have the new wild wing category and the new classic buffalo category. So we have a few more smaller trophies that we want to make with them, and they're going to invite us back again, and we're going to hang out with the folks at Glassical and do that. This turnover chain that you guys just unveiled is from a company in Miami.
Yeah.
Of course, look at all
Very
that bling.
Miami-esque, yeah.
Very Miami. And then we have for who can eat the most wings, we have a belt, a championship belt.
Made by
Nice.
Undisputed Belts.
Yes, made
which
by
is the same
Undisputed
people who
Belts.
made it last year.
Yes,
so-
and that was so fun. Everyone loved that. There's a great picture. We can input it,
Pop it in.
now. There's a great picture of the winner and his little sister with the belt on his shoulder on stage, and she's giving him the biggest hug. Like she was his cheerleader throughout the entire thing. Again, that family feeling of including everyone in the family, and it doesn't have to just be adults. It could be a good, clean, fun day.
It was special. It was a special time because it was at the end of the festival. It was just so much electricity. I would say in the building. It was outside, right?
It was outside,
It wasn't
yeah.
all that wind that started blowing at the end.
That's right. Yes, it almost was almost like a hurricane, but then it
Yes.
stopped, and then we had fun, and oh my
Yes.
gosh,
Yes.
just right in time for both.
And we
those
had
competitions.
Wirewood Station was our
Yes,
headline band
nice.
last year, and They are such amazing musicians. I think that, Colorado has a lot of great local talent. They really do. Michelle Edwards, she is the fiddle player, violinist, classically trained from Wirewood Station. And she's just that chick on the fiddle. She's
coming on next week, actually.
Yep, she's on next week.
Oh, awesome. Look at that. How good we set that up for you. She's amazing. Love her.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about one thing that's like very glaringly true with you guys in your relationship. You guys have two very, very strong personalities, and you guys happen to work together and bring something so beautiful together and build something so beautifully together as well. So how is that dynamic, especially for couples who might be working together, putting on some big events, or even just building a business?
I think it's everything you think it is. There's times of joy. There's times of frustration.
Yeah.
There's times of like, I just get out of my face. I don't want to look at you right now.
There's
but
all
then
of
there's
that.
times of we put it together. Like it's life. It's
And
all the things that life brings.
I think that although you do say that we do have two strong personalities, we're not strong personalities all the time, right? And it's very much in flux. So there's times that he's the strong one and I'm just following, and there's times that I'm the strong one and he's following. There's times that I'm ready to throw in the towel, and this would not happen without him. Like I feel the same. Exactly.
I feel the same.
Nice.
And although he might have the same feeling where he wants to throw in the towel, he never expresses that, and he doesn't. I say, I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Please tell me. But that's when your why comes in.
Yeah.
And has to be like, oh, that's why. Okay, yeah, I see that. But it's really hard, to juggle a 9 to 5, to juggle this, to juggle having a life too, because it can't just be on 24/7 all the time. You have to allow yourself to
go camping,
relax. Yeah, to go camping. So we were actually, Flip has he is part owner of Colorado Springs Self-Defense
Academy, Colorado Springs.
Okay, cut. Flip here is part owner of Self-Defense Academy, Colorado Springs. And so it's a Self-Defense Academy, mainly teaching in jiu-jitsu here in downtown Colorado Springs. And so we went to a fitness expo about a month or so ago.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, and it was really cool. There was a lot of great vendors there, and I was trying to recruit vendors while I was there, because why not? And then I walked up to this lady, and she was had like this retreat, retreat in the mountains and whatever. And the first question she asked me when I walked up to her was, "When was the last time you took a moment for you?" And I looked at her and I was like, 2 days ago, we just got back from camping, whatever. And she was like, well, before that, when was the last time? I'm like, I get my nails done like every 3 weeks. and she kept on like, and then the lady next to me though was, she also approached her around the same time as me. And she looked at her and she's like, I can't remember. And I was like, oh man, I felt so like my heart sank a little bit for this lady. And she was a little bit older than I was. And she's like, I can't remember the last time that I did something for me. And that is so important, especially when you have such high intensity things going on all around you all the time. We all do. Maybe not all of us are business owners, but there's other things in life that life throws at you. There's illness, there's work, there's
finances,
there's so many things that pull you in all sorts of different directions. Take a moment for yourself. Take a moment with your partner, if you've got a partner, business partner, romantic partner, friend, whoever. These are all relationships, and they're important to take a moment, because if we did not have those moments, and I planned those moments. So if I'm planning Wingfest things, I also plan our away time, right?
She plans it, and then I get her there.
Yeah. He's the executioner when it comes to our away time, and then I'm the one that plans it. And in business, he's the one that dreams it, and I'm the one that gets it done too. So, our roles are very much...
Well, she's the more spreadsheet
Yeah.
I'm
I am the
an analyst by
connector with
trade.
people.
Yeah.
But she's great at connecting with people too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm just out there more.
Yeah.
I'm out there more, just connection, finding people.
Yeah.
And then she puts them in the spreadsheet.
But, you know, to bring it back to, you know, working together, it's important. He knows how I am and I know how he is. I can't expect him to be a different way. He cannot expect me to be a different way.
100%.
I try to not let things affect me as much as they do, but that's just the way that I am. And I get anxious and I get frustrated and I get loud and I need to bring it back down to reality.
And that's when I just use jujitsu. Not to do it, not physically. That's when the philosophy,
exactly,
better said, comes in.
Exactly.
Right, where in jujitsu, the way that I teach it is we're not fighting people. We are de-escalating fights. So when that energy comes, it's okay. How can I work on de-escalating this energy?
He's a cool, calm, collected guy. Really, like I think in the 12 plus years that we've been together, I think that he's maybe raised his voice twice. Like, and me on the other hand, let's not even go there. But you know, it's just the nature of you knowing who you're with.
What's some of that philosophy?
Well, you know, we are anchored in something called the 753 code. So what is the 753 code? 7 is 7 things you can do to fulfill your spirit. So things like rectitude. Rectitude means doing things the right way. Not being the type of person who cuts corners the way things are supposed to be done. So that's rectitude. Courage. And courage comes in with rectitude as well, because it takes courage to do things with rectitude when you want to cut corners, when you want to take the easy way. And it's like, no, it takes the courage to stand up for yourself and be like, I have to do this right. The third thing is benevolence, which is mutual welfare for everyone. So be selfless, not selfish. The next one is respect.
Self-evident. Yeah.
And the next one is honesty. Now, honesty, how many people have we met in our lives where they're like, oh, I tell it like it is?
A lot.
And maybe they're being honest, but what did I just say before that? Respect. And if you're going to be honest in a respectful way, I wouldn't have that energy. Right? And then there's honor. Right? Just if you're doing all these things, people are going to perceive you as an honorable person. And if you do all these things and you're honorable through gratitude, and this one took me a second to learn, through gratitude, people will be loyal to you. Because a lot of people conflate loyalty with obedience and fear. Like, oh, I was loyal to you, better be loyal to me. And that's not loyalty. That's force and coercion, where when you are truly loyal to somebody, you want to serve out of gratitude, not for any other reason. So those are the 7 things for your spirit. 5 things for your body: exercise, rest, nutrition, hygiene, especially for the kids, hygiene, and positivity. And I think interesting that positivity is not in the mind, which is the 3, it's in the body. Because if you don't have a positive mind, your body is done before it even gets started. And then the 3 things you do for your mind is awareness, be where you're at, balance. You know, like we're saying here, when she gets crazy, I can give that energy back, or I can just be in balance and not let it get me out of balance.
That's hard sometimes.
Oh, that's why they bring it up. It's a practice.
It's a practice.
If you don't practice it, it ain't, where's it gonna come from? Right? And then the last one, I like to say it this way: if you do all those other ones over and over and over, and it becomes your practice, and over, and it becomes your practice, and over, it will manifest itself as being the flow of who you are. So that is the 753 code that I apply to life, right? And it says it on our gis. It says the secret of jiu-jitsu is in its philosophy. Not in that I get to break people, I get to choke them out. I could do all those things, but that's number one. I would never initiate that. That's something I would do if somebody's coming into my space and I've already told them, please, I don't want any problems, but they keep coming. I have the tool to stop that, right? And it falls under the exercise and all that other stuff. So, but the philosophy as a whole, we don't pay lip service to it. We try to live it every day.
Yeah. I know when I was meditating consistently for a good while, I noticed I was able to manage my times when I would want to be angry or like get frustrated. I would be able to center myself a lot quicker when I was actually doing it and actually being consistent with the practice. So yeah, I think it's definitely a practice, and you have to keep on it. Like if you want to be good at it.
It's not saying that you have to be happy all the time. That's not even possible. It's not that you can't be angry either. Like these are all valid emotions, and you should feel them. But are they going to serve you?
Yeah.
Or are you going to obsess over them?
Exactly.
So if you're angry and then you keep thinking about the thing that made you angry, and then you kept thinking about the thing what are you practicing? Is being angry.
It perpetuates itself, right?
And then it's just going to get deeper into your flow.
So you just have to break that cycle. Even if you're experiencing something that you really don't want to experience, be like, what's going on here? And if you catch yourself, then okay, I caught it. It's happening.
And those are the easy things. Some things you can also. Sometimes life is going to throw a thing at you, and if you like it or not, that's what's there. And you have to be able to flow with it.
I love that flow. If for audio listeners, he's doing some
the Matrix. Doing the flow.
Jiu-jitsu flow. Oh man, that's awesome. Well, I know that you guys always take like some kind of pretty good vacation, and then it's like like a month out from. I think last year was like 2 weeks out or something from the Wing Fest, right?
Yeah, your birthday. We went to Rifle Falls 2 weeks before the Wing
awesome.
Fest.
Yeah. So my birthday is at the end of July. So I tried to do a camping trip before my birthday. And last year, Wing Fest was the beginning of August, and my birthday is the end of July. So it was like the weekend before Wing Fest. We were in Rifle Falls, Colorado. Absolutely gorgeous. We finally were able to do the Hanging Lake hike, which I had tried to do a few times before that, but there were fires. Then the year after the fires, there were mudslides. And so finally, last year was the first year that we were able to actually keep the reservations that we did. And it was amazing. And you know what? I always say to myself, like, why are we taking a vacation right before our big thing?
That would stress me the heck out.
But you know what? I'm so glad that we do.
Yeah.
And this year, we're supposed to go in the beginning of September for Labor Day weekend, which is our wedding anniversary.
Oh, wow.
We're supposed to go to Rocky Mountain National Park that we haven't been there since our wedding. So is it crazy to do it 2 weeks before Wingfest? Probably.
The thing is, we did it last year.
Yeah.
But this is where systems, if the systems are working for you at least enough, then the systems are going to do what they do.
Exactly.
And I'm sure we'll be on some phone calls and stuff, even though we're doing something. But when
off a waterfall.
But when it's time to do the hike or go mountain, we're gonna.
I take my laptop with me, and last year at the campground that we were at, there was barely any reception. I was bumming reception from
We're gonna have to get that Elon Musk Starlink.
I know. I was bumming reception from the ranger station, like trying to get to be able to send out emails and stuff. But again, it's that whole balance, right? It's we're gonna have a good time, but we're still being responsible and trying to get back to the things that need our attention. If they don't need our attention, we'll get back to you. Give us a minute. And this year, after Wingfest, I don't know what we're gonna do after Wingfest, but we're
gonna go to a hot springs.
Oh yeah, maybe we'll do that, man. For sure.
All right. Well, Danielle and I are taking notes right now about things.
Yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong way. You just gotta find what works for you. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. Well, this has been an amazing episode. Before we kind of wrap up for this episode, where can we find you guys with all the things that you guys are doing?
bestofthewestwingfest.com. bestofthewestwingfest.com. On Facebook, it is Best of the West Wingfest. That's our page. Then our page has an event that's going on. You can say that you're attending the event, that you're going, and it's the second annual Best of the West Wingfest is the actual event page. If you go to Eventbrite, look up Best of the West Wingfest and you'll find it.
On the gram.
Instagram, all one word, Best of the West Wing Fest. Super easy. Tried to
Could
make
you believe
that.
that was available?
Yeah. Like, I can't even
That's
believe that
crazy.
was available. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
that was
great.
one of your training clients
Yeah.
at the
Garden of the
at
Gods.
Garden of the Gods. We were bouncing around ideas and names for the event last year, and he said this, and we were like, "Ding,
Because I was
winner."
thinking like take flight, right?
Yeah.
Like
Something with
wings.
chickens,
And then
yeah.
here you have the airport. Like there was just so much.
the Air Force,
But
the
then
COS Airport,
just
other
in
things.
passing, he was like, oh, you can call it Best of the West Wing Fest. I was like, that rolls nice.
It's
Never went to look
and I
for
searched,
it. Yeah.
and I bought the page
Immediately.
right away, and
Yeah,
I made
smart.
a Facebook page, and I made a Instagram account right away. So that's also great.
I love it. And Flip, where can we find you for your self-defense?
Self-Defense Academy, COS.com, Self-Defense Academy, COS on the gram, Self-Defense Academy, COS on the Facebook. And yeah, I just started this in February, right? And so now, where the Wing Fest was last year that I had to pick it up off the ground, that's where I'm at with Jiu-Jitsu, trying to pick it up off the ground and get the ball rolling. But I feel that it's going to be, it's already been an amazing adventure. We already have more students. Andrew came to a class or two in the garage.
Oh, yeah.
Right, when I can fit 3 people. Now I can probably fit between 15 to 20 people in the room. And
Oh, man.
I'm not there yet. I don't have 15, 20 people in a room yet. But now there's 3 to 4 people in every class. Right. So I think I've gone from February having maybe 8 students to now we have about 30, if you count the kids as well. And the best part is watching people come in that are lacking the courage part and slowly beginning to understand that they are worth learning how to defend themselves.
I love that.
Yeah.
A lot of confirmation bias once you learn the skills that you need to learn and that confidence that comes with
Yeah.
that, especially with young kids. Like that's so
And
important.
well, the thing is, I'm going to bring up an example of a student. This is not a young, she's in her 50s. She just started maybe 6 weeks ago. She came because her now ex-boyfriend, who's in jail, tried to kill her.
Oh.
He tried to choke her to death.
Oh my goodness.
And she was able to get away. And it just so happens that the first class she came to, there was a choke defense. And she starts bawling. And I'm like, I understand that this is the trauma, but we're going to show you how to never have that happen to you again. And as soon as I taught her the technique and her eyes were like, that's all I need to do. I was like, let's start practicing. And I would try to get her and she would just get right out of it. Get right. And I was like,
Nice.
That's all you needed to do. And then last week, she's like, I was at work and my boss came up to me, pulled me aside, and he's like, I can tell there's a difference in you. There's something happening to you. And again, I get to see this happen in front of my face.
It's transformative.
Yes.
Right?
And
What's the tagline, dear?
well, our culture is built on a quote. And the quote is, self-defense is not just a set of techniques. It's a state of mind that begins with the belief that you are worth defending.
Oh, I love that.
That's it.
That's awesome.
That is what we're
Yeah.
building our culture around. So it's a room of people who all want to help each other realize that goal.
Well put.
Self-Defense Academy, COS.
Well put, my friend. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on for our 200th episode. We wouldn't have it any other way. We truly appreciate the friendship, the partnerships that we have built together. It's just,
Yes.
it's been truly great. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for having us. Ciao, guys.
Peace.
All right.
Did
That's a
we-
wrap.
One thing that we did not get to, or talk about was the LART thing.
Yeah, I
Should
was
we
gonna-
put it in there? Should we
What's
not?
the LART thing?
It's
The-
LART funding. For,
The LART funding.
The city gave us
So
money.
it's the Lodging and Automobile Rental Tax Fund. And
Look, we're talking about it.
Put on a clip too, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can keep it. We can figure it out. Yeah.
Mhm.
You can continue talking.
Just
Yeah,
explain
just
it
keep-
right now.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll clip
okay.
it.
So this year, one of our major sponsors is the city of Colorado Springs. So as Coloradans, we all contribute towards the LART fund or LART tax, which is the Lodging Automobile Rental Tax Fund. And it is geared for tourism. And so every year there's a committee that gets together and scurries hundreds of applications to see what events are happening in the city that they believe have the opportunity to bring in lodging and automobile rental funds into our community from tourism. So looking at our, we were awarded some of the LARP funding, which was really amazing because last year we started with zero. We were super shoestring budget. This year we're still in a shoestring budget. The shoestring is a little fatter, but we're super grateful and thankful that the city has been able to see in our hard work something that they think it can bring the city value. And we are, what am I going to say?
Well, and checking where people are buying tickets from.
Yes.
There are 8 different states this year where people are coming from somewhere else to come to this.
So awesome. We're using Eventbrite for our ticketing, and we're able to see we've got almost 200 tickets already sold, which is way better than where we were comparative time from last year. And we've got 8 different states that have purchased
we have
cities.
We know Miami's coming strong.
It's awesome.
We've got a whole bunch of friends coming from Miami.
Yes.
So, that's cool, right?
Yeah. So we're growing. The growth is there.
That's good. It's good it probably feels really good to see that.
It does.
You see, like, oh, wow.
See it. And I'm a data girl.
Yeah.
So show me the numbers. Show me the numbers.
Yeah, sweet. Awesome. Yeah, this has been great. So yeah, we'll make sure that stays in there, and see you guys on the next time for real.
For real.